AVC Sports presents high school basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Dome Ford, Patriots, Buckeye Mutual Insurance, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Valentine Insurance, The Battery Depot, Park National Bank, Allen Hunter, State Farm, and Surgent Construction.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Coshocton High School. Tonight, the John Glenn Muskies battle the new Philadelphia Quakers in this Ohio Division II East District semifinal game. My name is Mike Snively, and it'll be my pleasure to describe tonight's action to you either via the airwaves or live stream TV. Tonight's game can be heard on WILE 97.7 FM.
On the YRPtv YouTube channel or the YRPtv Facebook page.
Joining me tonight on the color is Mike Podlasiak. John Glenn enters tonight's game as the 7th seed in the East District with a 13-11 record, while the Quakers sport an 18-5 record and are the number 2 seed in the Division II East District. These teams have already played once this year on January 17th at New Philly, where the Quakers came away with a 57-43 win. So Plaz, the Quakers, 14-point win may seem a bit deceiving as John Glenn led by half. And with that previous game over with, it was over a month ago. Two teams are a little bit different now. So what are your thoughts about tonight's matchup?
It'll be interesting because if John Glenn, Mike, I think, can shoot the ball well from behind the three-point arc, they got a shot here tonight. You know, the other night against Zanesville, they were only 3 out of 15. They shoot only 3 out of 15. That percentage tonight, no way that they're going to compete with the Quakers. But they definitely have an advantage with their depth. They're going to come out, they're typical John Glenn style. They're going to play baseline to baseline. They're going to run kids in and out, keep them fresh. The Quakers, on the other hand, only play 6 kids.
Yes.
So if they would happen to get in foul trouble, you know, if John Glenn gets that running game going, because New Philly likes a little slower pace. Mike, they're only giving up 45 points a game for the year, and they're playing top-notch competition.
They are, absolutely.
They're a very well-coached basketball team. But I think that the little Muskie got a shot here tonight.
They got a shot. They played well. New Philly comes in. Let's see. I got this written down somewhere. They're on a 6-game win streak. Interesting note. Do you know who their last loss was to?
Steubenville Big Red.
Steubenville Big Red, yes, sir. But they beat West Holmes in their first sectional. They beat West Holmes in their first sectional matchup, 58-40 in the sectional championship. Now, John Glenn. We had John Glenn early in the let's see, we've had John Glenn several times this year, Plaz, but John Glenn finished the regular season losing 3 in a row, but now they won both of their sectional games. They win over the aforementioned Steubenville, who beat New Philly on February 14th, and that was by the Nate Walker tip-in. Probably the greatest shot of his career, one of the greater shots in John Glenn folklore.
And you're still debating that in the area, whether or not it was actually good, but the officials called it good, so it's officially 60-58.
Absolutely, and you and Howard Twiggs had the Zanesville game where the Muskies pulled off an 11-point win over Zanesville. So Muskies on a 3-game win streak. I'm sorry, on a 2-game win streak, and New Philly on a 6-game win streak. Now I'm going to look back at this matchup real quick from January. Let's see, what was the date on that? January the 17th. Yeah, the 17th. Here's the thing. John Glenn led by 10 at halftime. But New Philly went to the line 27 times. John Glenn only went 7 times. In fact, one player made 15 free throws, Vandal, and that was Carter Vandal, the OCC Player of the Year. 6'5" senior, made 15 free throws himself and made 15 out of 16 that night. But there's a key stat in this on his stat sheet that I noticed from January 17th. New Philly out-rebounded John Glenn 31-13. So that's the story of the game. And you got to think, I admittedly wasn't at that game, but I got to think John Glenn probably got a little cold, missing some threes, and you know, they just picked up everything off the glass.
Mike, they start 2 kids 6'5", and they bring a 6'7" kid off the bench, so they will definitely have the size advantage against the little Muskies tonight.
Caleb Larrick, the lone above 6'5" guy, will have his hands full tonight.
Very important for him to stay out of foul trouble.
We're going to take a short break here. We're going to get the national anthem played, and we're going to go through some starting lineups. You are listening to and watching high school basketball on WILE and YRPtv.
Excellent coverage for your home and auto at a fair and competitive price. Westfield has been in the neighborhood for over 150 years, providing peace of mind and quality insurance products through independent insurance professionals. Sharing knowledge, building trust is Westfield's pledge to their customers. Call WB Green Insurance today.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer Christine.
I'm a director and a performer. I got a free phone from Cricket, and I've used it to live stream 73 of my shows on social media.
How do you like it?
It's fabulous!
Switch to Cricket and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial, limited time. Must bring your number to Cricket on a $60 a month first month service charge and tax to its sale. Phone streams video and SD. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Park National Bank knows that when you buy your first home, it's the little things that mean the most.
I always love to hear my son say, "Mom, I don't ever want to move. I want to stay here forever." It's all for him.
What means a lot to you means a lot to us. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When they say no job is too big or too small, well, they mean it. At the Battery Depot, they won't shy away from any job, ranging from golf cart customization and repair, trailer wiring, fleet vehicle customization, including power inverters and custom generator racks. They stock batteries for everything, ranging from dozers and semis to watches and key fobs. They're conveniently located on Campbell Avenue in Cambridge, or give them a call at 740-432-2000. The Battery Depot.
Welcome back to Coshocton High School District Final competition between the John Glenn Muskies and the new Philadelphia Quakers. Had a little mishap there. We are in the balcony tonight behind the basket, and the wind's we got the air blowing here, and
I feel like we're on the beach.
My score sheet actually blew off onto the floor, and to my rescue on the floor was East Muskingum Superintendent Dave Adams actually picked it up for me. And Plaz, thanks for running down and picking that up for me.
Anything for you, Mr. Snively.
So, craziness already here at Coshocton. So, Plaz, district semifinal, which means if you think about it, there are 64 teams left in Division II. After tonight, it'll be cut to 32, and then after that, it'll be the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16 to the Elite Eight, then the Final Four, and obviously the championship game in Dayton. So tonight's winner will get the winner of St. Clairsville and Tri-Valley, and that game's going to be at Muskingum tonight. I wondered why I saw a lot of people coming out of New Concord. I was like, where's a lot of traffic coming down 83? It had to have been the Tri-Valley folks heading to Muskingum tonight. So the winner gets Tri-Valley or St. Clairsville. On the other side of the bracket, two East District teams are going to go to Athens this year. Maysville is going to play Indian Valley tonight, and I believe that's at Cambridge. And Carrollton is going to play East Liverpool at Edison High School. So I wanted to make a trivia question out of that, make it a four-parter. Where are the four East District Division II games at tonight? So the John Glenn Muskies announcing their starting lineups. They are going to go with junior 6'6" Caleb Larrick. They're also going to go with number 15, sophomore 5'7", Will Nikolazakis. Nathan Walker, the leading scorer, averaging 16.5, 6'4" senior. Bexley Woodard, a 6'3" senior, averaging about 8 points a game. And Caden Walls, averaging almost 10 points a game, the 6' senior. Public address announcer now announcing New Philly, but looking at this John Glenn starting lineup, Plaz, as you mentioned, you know, they live and die by the three a lot. You think it would be imminent that they would have to get off to a good start.
You would think so, you're right.
Basketball.
Larrick really the only one in that starting lineup that is not a quality three-point shooter. And they bring Steele Bates and Noah Winland off the bench, along with Nelson Cameron, who also can shoot the three.
Yes.
So, I think that's going to be key for John Glenn tonight, especially with the height that New Philadelphia possesses.
So New Philadelphia is going to start 6'2" junior Colton Slaughter.
And if that name sounds familiar to local fans, that's the son of Coach Andy Slaughter, who's the head coach down at Cambridge 2 years ago.
He was at Cambridge several years ago. They're also going to start 6'5" senior Michael Vickers, along with 5'10" senior Brant Wells. 6'5" senior, as we talked about, Carter Vandal. And their final starter is going to be 6'2" junior Owen Miller. So we are just about 20 seconds away from tip time here in Coshocton. I'm Mike Snively, joined by Mike Podlasiak. We're on WILE 97.7 out of Cambridge. And you can watch the game on our YRPtv YouTube channel or YRPtv Facebook channel.
Mike, with that free throw discrepancy in the first game leads me to believe that New Philly's going to want to pound the ball down
I totally agree. I thought the same thing, Plaz. So Walker to tip it up for the Muskies, and New Philly gets control. It's going to be Vickers out front to Owen Miller. John Glenn starts out in man. Slaughter, a good, excellent three-point shooter. Over to Brant Wells. Pass into Owen Miller, who misses it. Rebound by Larrick. Muskies control. First possession. 0-0 early here at Coshocton.
New Philly also in a man-to-man to begin this game.
Woodard inside to Larrick. Larrick tries a post move. And he's going to, believe it or not, Plaz, I think that's the third 3-second call this year that me and you have been together.
I was going to say, that you don't see very many of those anymore at all.
So they called Caleb Larrick being in the lane for 3 seconds. You don't see that a whole lot, but he did have the basketball.
Boy, nice job defensively there by Carter Vandal.
Run and jump here by the Muskies. They get it across the timeline. Vickers out to Wells. Wells knocks down a three to start the scoring for the New Philly Quakers. Quickly up the court come the Muskies. In the Larrick again, this time on the left side. Walls over to Nikolazakis, to Walker on the right wing. Walker back to Walls. Larrick, 25 feet from the basket, comes to help. Over to Walls, ball might have been tipped. Walls goes, had a layup, tips it out. Over to Walker, nice play by Walls. Walker goes up strong, in and out. Rebound again by Walker. Walker between his legs gets control again, goes around the back and says, let's slow this thing down, fellas. Let's try this thing again. I tell you, Plaz, they had 2 real good looks, just wouldn't go in the hole.
They did. Good job on the offensive glass, too, by the little Muskies.
Walker decides, pulls it out. That goes in and out. His three. Rebound by Vickers. Vickers up to Vandal. Vandal, the righty, nice shot.
Solid.
From about 12 feet. Carter Vandal with his first 2. New Philly leads 5-0 here early in Coshocton.
Again, he was the OCC Player of the Year this year, and that's big school.
That was a great jump shot. So 5-0 New Philly. Nikolazakis drives. He loses control. Scrum on the floor. Picked up by Walls. Walls being guarded by Vandal. Walls loses control. Picked up by Michael Vickers. Turnover by the Muskies. Slaughter dribbles out. Gets a decent pass over to Vickers. Vickers for 3, no good. Rebound by Caden Walls. Muskies need a basket here to get some confidence brewing. Woodard being guarded by Vickers. Inside, Larrick tries a backdoor cut. Ball was deflected by Brant Wells. Possession to the Quakers. Vickers at the top. He's going to call a set play here for the Quakers, who's wearing white uniforms with black trim. Muskies in their maroon with gray trim. 3-point basket by Colton Slaughter, and that's going to be a quick 8-0 Quaker lead. Coach Scheck wants to call a timeout, and he's going to make it a full timeout, and we're going to take it with him. You are listening to and watching high school basketball on WILE and YRPtv.
Some things in life are just automatic. Like me, State Farm agent Alan Hunter, offering great neighbor service plus surprisingly great rates on auto insurance. If you were to contact us right now, you'd find you could have some of those surprisingly great rates and good neighbor service right away, as in automatically. Give me or my staff, Austin, Minley, Lori, or Kelly, a call today. 740-439-5385. We think you'll be automatically happy you did.
Back here, Coshocton, Mike Snively and Mike Podlasiak. New Philly leads John Glenn 8-0 early, just 4:57 in the first quarter. John Glenn had a couple of nice looks, Plaz, but nothing fell, and seems like everything's falling for the Quakers right now.
Exactly. I tell you, last possession for the Quakers, that was a nice set play. Vickers called out a play. They ran a double screen across a baseline for Slaughter, and I'm telling you, he can shoot it.
You got to have somebody on Slaughter. Colton Slaughter, one of the better three-point shooters in the district, if not the best. Nikolazakis brings the ball up. Woodard gets an open look at a three, looks to the left. Lyric may have gotten away with a push, and I don't think either official knew who it went off of, but they're going to say it went off of Lyric. So it's going to be New Philly basketball leading by 8.
Mike, we don't think he got away with the push. He did get away with the push, yes.
Lyric, a big body football player, out there getting a little bit physical. So here come the Quakers, ball handled from Miller. Over to Brant Wells. Wells over to Vickers. Vickers to Slaughter. Slaughter to Carter Vandal, one of the better players in the area. Vickers to his left, drives through, gets a look, bucket. It's 4th point on the night for Carter Vandal, 10-0. Quakers out of the chute quick.
Mike, after missing their first shot, they're 4 out of their last 5 from the field.
And that's getting it right now.
Boy.
And boy, did I tell you what, they needed that one.
They sure did.
Nathan Walker drains a 3, so that makes it 10-3 New Philly. It's going to be a wide open look and a missed layup there by Owen Miller. Walls gets the ball, brings it down the court. Nice pass into Walker. 4-2, cuts the lead in half, 10-5. Here come the Muskies. 3:38 left here in the first quarter. Slaughter with a little bit of trouble getting it across, hands it to Vickers. Vickers being guarded by Nikolazakis. Nikolazakis taking a couple gambles. Gets up in his face over to Vandal. Vandal 6'5", being guarded by the 6'3" Woodard. Wells gets a shot at the 3. Same corner as the last 3 shot. Good basket. 13-5 New Philly. Quickly across down the court comes the Muskies. In and out, but a nice rebound and one.
Nice.
And one by Caleb Lyric. So Lyric got the Walls miss and gets the and one. And he's going to go to the line. He's a 60% free throw shooter. Couple subs coming in. Noah Winland and Steele Bates for the Muskies.
Lyric continuing his good postseason play. We noticed
he's been great this year in the postseason.
2 games ago, against Steubenville.
Yeah.
He really had his kind of coming out party. Really played well.
Misses the free throw, 13-7. 6-point lead for the Quakers. Under 3 minutes here in the first quarter. Still a lot of pressure here by the Quakers. Another three-pointer, this one by Owen Miller. The 4th three-pointer in the first quarter, 16-7. Quakers lead. Lyric down low, goes strong, pitches it out. Noah Winland for 3, he misses it. Rebound, long rebound out to Nathan Walker. Walker being guarded by Slaughter, kicks it to Walls. Walls standing near the half-court line, hands it off to Steele Bates, the freshman, who's been a spark plug this season for the John Glenn Muskies. Hands it to Walker, a backdoor cut to Walls. Caden Walls goes up with his left hand, good. So Caden Walls gets his first 2 of the night, 16-9. New Philly leads John Glenn. Pass over to Owen Miller. Miller to Vickers. Vickers being double teamed, now just single teamed. New Philly's going to call a set play. Coach Zach Ross in his first year at New Philly doing a fine job. Vandal gets it deep inside, misses the easy shot, but a strong rebound by Owen Scholes. He gets his first 2 of the night, 18-9 New Philly.
Scholes had just checked into the lineup. He's, like you said, 6'7" junior.
Pick and roll, nice pick and roll pass from Walker into Larrick. And he's going to go up and he's going to go back to the line for 2 shots. 1:23 left here on WILE and YRPtv. Mike Snively joined by Mike Podlasiak. So Larrick missed his first shot tonight. Second shot's up. Misses it, 0 for 2 on the night.
Mike, when you're the underdog, those are the things you've got to do. You've got to do the little things. You've got to rebound and you've got to make free throws.
I absolutely agree. Lane Hall checks in, the 5'7" junior. He has 6 3-point baskets on the year. Larrick's third free throw up, cashes in on that one. 1 for 3 on the night. Woodard checking in for Larrick. Going to take a quick break.
And again, as we mentioned before, if the Little Muskies have any advantage at all, it's they have a lot more depth.
That is true. They do have a lot more depth, and it looks like Coach Scheck is starting to employ that strategy right now. So John Glenn trails by 8. And they're going to catch Bexley Woodard with a foul here. Pretty easy call there for the officials.
Just about a half a step slow on that. Right idea, just didn't get there quick enough.
So it's going to be an out under bounds for the Quakers.
Quick moving first quarter.
Very quick. Michael Vickers will take it out to Vandal. Vandal on the right wing.
Being guarded there by Walker. 2 good players.
A little bit up and under. Nice rebound there by Steele Bates, the freshman. After the miss, back to Steele Bates. Under a minute now here in Coshocton. Lane Hall handles the ball over to Winland. Winland to Woodard. 5 out. No open post right now. Trying to get backdoor cuts running the Princeton offense. Walker's going to get a good look at a 3. He misses it. It's short. Rebound by Vickers. Vickers slows it down. Over to Slaughter. Slaughter back to Vickers. 30 seconds. Slaughter's got a quick trigger.
They may slow it down here and try to get to the last shot of the quarter.
It would actually be a 2 for 1 here because possession arrow goes to, John Glenn gets the possession arrow to start the second half. Or second quarter, I should say. So 13 seconds. Vickers, the point guard, handles the ball, being guarded by Winland. And they're going to get Winland with too much body. The John Glenn crowd does not like that call.
I tell you what, if they could have gone another second without the foul, I think they were about to call a 5-second count out.
You're probably right, Plaz. You can't fault the effort by John Glenn right now.
No,
defensively,
they're playing hard.
They are playing hard. Slaughter's going to inbound it with 8.1 seconds left. New Philly leads by 8. Inbound to Wells. Wells indecisive. Good defense by John Glenn. Slaughter got a good look at the 3, but pretty well defended, and he's going to miss that shot. So after 1 quarter of play here in Coshocton, New Philly leads 18-10 over the John Glenn Muskies. You are listening to and watching high school basketball on WILE and YRPtv.
Park National Bank knows that when you buy your first home, it's the little things that mean the most.
I always love to hear my son say, "Mom, I don't ever want to move. I want to stay here forever." It's all for him.
What means a lot to you means a lot to us. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Your home and your car are likely your 2 biggest investments. Protecting them from unexpected damage is a prime concern to WB Green Insurance. They are proud to represent Westfield Insurance, a financial service organization that provides insurance products for your home, auto, and business. Sharing knowledge, building trust is Westfield Insurance's pledge to their customers, along with personalized claim service that's fast and friendly. To learn how Westfield can help with your insurance needs, talk to WB Green Insurance today.
Back to Coshocton High School, East District Division II semifinal. After 1 quarter, New Philly leads 18-10 over John Glenn. John Glenn will have the possession to start. Any quick stat updates there, Plaz?
What's impressive from New Philly in first quarter, they were 4 out of 6 from behind the 3-point arc. 7 out of 13, just a little over 50% for them. John Glenn only 4 out of 10. 40%, 1 out of 5 from behind the arc.
And that 8-point lead then makes sense according to the stat sheet. John Glenn inside to Walker. Walker gets a nice look. Nathan Walker has his 7th point on the night, 18-12. Muskies hanging around, trying to get a little momentum here. Vickers being guarded by Winland. Vickers calls out a set play. Box set down here by the Quakers. Good job of denying the basketball here. Almost a steal there by Walls. Vandal over to Slaughter. Slaughter gets a good look. He misses it. Rebound by Caden Walls. Here come the Muskies looking to cut into this 6-point deficit. Walker controls the basketball. No post players in the game right now, so 5 perimeter players running the Princeton offense. Walker's shot was tipped by Vickers, rebounded by Vandal. Vandal now being guarded by the freshman Steele Bates. Over to Vickers. And Vickers decides we're going to set it up again, and Vandal's trying to post up the freshman to take advantage of the mismatch. Slaughter being guarded by Caden Walls. Slaughter crosses him over to his left. Back to Vickers. 18-12. New Philly leads John Glenn. Vickers from the 18-foot mark. No good. Rebound almost controlled by Woodard, but offense rebound by Owen Miller. Over to Slaughter. He gets a real good look. In. So, Colton Slaughter with his 2nd 3 on the night, and that's going to be a timeout. Timeout by John Glenn. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it here 21-12, 9-point lead for the New Philly Quakers over John Glenn. And I tell you can't give Slaughter an inch.
No, if he's open, it's almost as good as in. Right. Big offensive rebound. Only the 2nd for New Philly there in the first, half.
Yes.
But led to that 3-point play. Just seemed like John Glenn was just about to get over the hump.
And they
are playing hard. They're playing with so much more confidence right now than what they did early on.
I agree.
Little shaky early.
It was shaky early. A bad start, but that's the 5th 3 already, Plaz, by New Philly. John Glenn's the team that's supposed to be making threes, and New Philly comes out and nails 5 threes here early in this first half.
That's how much we know. We thought really New Philly would be a team to try to pound it down inside.
Exactly.
They're everything but right now.
Exactly. And they do. They've got good size, but their size guys handle the ball well.
They handle it real well and shoot it well.
Yes, they do. Here come the Muskies, trail by 9, 6:10 left in the second quarter in Coshocton. Woodard tries a long 3, and he says he answers it, knocks it down, his first 3 on the night. 21-15, back to a 6-point deficit for the Muskies. New Philly crosses the timeline. Carter Vandal hands it to Vickers. Over to Owen Miller. Back to Vickers. Back to Carter Vandal. Vandal back to Vickers. Being guarded by Bates. Goes in strong, and a nice move there by Michael Vickers. His first basket on the night.
Boy, nice use of the body to shield the defender away from him.
23-15, 8-point lead for the Quakers. Larrick back in the game. Post presence for John Glenn. Larrick goes strong, has nothing, kicks it out to Bates. Bates tries to penetrate, decides against it, hands it off to Nikolazakis. Nikolazakis being guarded by Brant Wells. Over to Walls. Walls shakes and bakes a little bit. Hands it to Steele Bates. Bates can't get the back door to Nikolazakis. Woodard can't get a good look here. Good defense by the Quakers. Turnover and a steal by Owen Miller. Here come the Quakers. Run and jump defense here by John Glenn. They get to the cross and they take their time. Vickers wants to call, and they're going to get Caden Walls on a reach-in foul. And that's going to be Walls' first foul on the night. Team foul 3.
Mike, that was a great defensive possession by the Quakers the last time down. I tell you what, they came in only giving up 45 points a game. The most points they've given up in any game is only 56. That's impressive.
Really good. And they're playing some good competition, as you mentioned early. So here come the Quakers again on the attack. They lead John Glenn by 8. Vickers being guarded by Walls. Owen Scholes has entered the game for New Philly. 3-point attempt. Bad miss there by Vickers. Ball on the floor. Rebound by Nathan Walker. Walker's going to slow it down. Had a 1-on-3 over to Nikolazakis. Mike Snively with Mike Plasiak here at Coshocton High School District semifinal, Division II East District. Nice backdoor to Nick Lazakis. And Larrick, after a nice pass from Nick Lazakis, handles the pass, goes up strong, and makes the shot. So 23-17.
They're hanging around.
Hanging around. They break the press this time. And a blocked shot there by Larrick. Owen Scholl's shot was blocked. Rebounded by Woodard. Hands it to Walker. Back to Woodard. Woodard hasn't got very many good looks, but he has knocked down a 3 tonight. 3:35 left. Muskies trail by 6. Walker trying to penetrate the middle. A lot of handoffs in this offensive possession. Walls gets a 17-footer. He knocks it down. So Caden Walls with his second basket. He's got 4 on the night. New Philly wants to talk this thing over as the Muskies cut into the lead. It's down to 4 now. It's going to be let's see if it's going to be a 30-second timeout. We'll leave it here. 3:19 left. New Philly 23, John Glenn 19, and Plaz hanging around. Terrible start for John Glenn. Terrible start.
A little shaky. I think the nerves had kind of set in a little bit. Threw up a couple air balls first, and New Philly jumps out to like an 8-0 lead to begin with.
Yep.
And the Muskies have held their own ever since
They
then.
have. They've held their own, and I think they're forcing more difficult shots on the defensive end. They're doing a pretty good job of rebounding. So if you're John Glenn after that start, you're kind of happy where you're at right now.
I've got right now they're out rebounding Philly 11-6.
11-6. So that's a huge advantage for John Glenn. Typically not your greatest rebounding team, but they'll take any advantage they can get in this game. So here comes New Philly. They're up 4. Got to go length of the court against this John Glenn press. John Glenn will run and jump here. Almost a triple team there. They get it across to Owen Miller. Miller goes to his right, almost travels. John Glenn crowd wanted 3 seconds. Well, they called one on us, got to call one on them.
That's right. They might have had a point.
Yes. So Vickers handles the ball, hands off to Vandal. Vandal being guarded by Larrick. Colton Slaughter misses it, but a rebound by Owen Miller, a long rebound. Out to Vandal. Vandal being guarded by Larrick. Good defense by Larrick. Big on big. And we're going to foul away from the basket. And they're going to get Will Nikolazakis for the hold. And that's going to be Will's first foul on the night, team 4th. John Glenn has 14 fouls, just 2 on New Philly.
I'd say pretty clean game so far
Pretty
to
clean.
this point.
Pretty clean, pretty quick game. Famous last words, Plaz. Famous last words. 2:37 left in the half. Philly leads by 4 over John Glenn. Donnie Madzai, veteran official, counts off the 10-second call. Carter Vandal at the top of the key, hands it to Colton Slaughter. Slaughter kicks it out to Miller. Miller crosses over Woodard, but kicks it back out to Vickers. Vickers, I tell you what, John Glenn's getting after defensively.
They are.
Nikolazakis took a calculated risk, almost came up with a steal into Vandal, and I think they're going to get Nikolazakis for the reach in. Nikolazakis wanted the jump ball right away, so Nikolazakis on one possession is going to get 2 fouls.
I tell you what, the John Glenn Muskies have done a great job against Vandal so far tonight.
They've done fantastic.
He scored 27 the other night against West Holmes. They've held him to only 2 so far to this point.
Well, I got him for 4, but in the first half, or first quarter, I should say. Almost a steal by Walker. Vandal grabs the loose ball. Vandal kicks it out to Miller. Miller for 3, no good. Rebound, long rebound, and let's see who they're going to get here. I think they're going to get Larrick, and they did. They got Larrick, and the John Glenn crowd does not like that one. So this has been the 3rd foul, Plaza, on this possession.
I know, and up to that point, there had only been like 6 fouls called.
Right. So Larrick, they said on the box out was just a little too physical. So out of bounds again. New Philly's had the ball, seems like, for 10 minutes down here. And this time they throw it away. They tried to inbound it to Vandal near the baseline, and he stepped on the line. And it's kind of hard for us to see where, from our vantage point, we are literally right underneath the basket here at Coshocton.
And I may have missed one or two, but I had that as the first turnover the first half by New Philly.
First turnover by New Philly. Big stat there. 1:40 to go in the half. John Glenn trails by 4. Inside to Larrick. Larry goes strong to his left. Great move. Great move. And they're going to say it's a 2-shot foul as well. That's the quickest I've seen Larrick move all year. He went around on that drop step real quick.
We said he was going to be important tonight if John Glenn had any chance at all. And to this point, he's played extremely well. Been very solid down inside.
He has. His game's improved greatly from February on. So we're going to have a little towel cleanup for 2 players on the floor hitting the deck. So Larrick, who is
he's been the only guy at the free throw line tonight for either team.
Yeah, 1 for 3, 60% on the year. Shot up and no good. And as you said, Plaz, these little things got to make those free throws in tournament games.
You mentioned how badly that New Philly outshot John Glenn from the free throw. They have yet to make it to the free throw line.
They have yet. Second shot up and good. So that cuts the lead to 3, 23-20. 1:32 left in the half. Double team defense there by John Glenn. Slaughter brings it up against Walls, gets it across. Little run and jump kind of has affected this New Philly Quaker team here in this second quarter. So Vickers over to Slaughter, being guarded by Larrick. Grant Wells back out to Slaughter. Vickers has a 3. The lefty shoots it and good. Michael Vickers with his 5th point on the night, knocks down a 3 and extends the lead to 6 with under a minute here in Coshocton in the first half. Steele baits the freshman. Lefty penetrates, pitches it out to Bexley Woodard. Down below 50 seconds now. Woodard hands it to Caden Walls. Walls tries a 3. Good!
Boy, he shot that a lot of confidence.
He did. Caden Walls answers the 3. Now we have 35 seconds. 3-point lead for the Quakers. Almost a steal by Bates. No pun intended on that one by Steele Bates. Slaughter gets a good look, misses it, and I think Woodard may have got pushed. And then Vandal goes up, may have gotten away with the charge. Vandal goes up, he knocks down the 2. 15 seconds left here. New Philly leads 28-23, going to go for 1 shot here. Walker in control of the ball. 7 seconds. 5 seconds. Walker tries a step back 3 and he nails it. What a shot by Nathan Walker. Literally on 1 foot, Plaz. I mean, he knocked that thing. He stepped back and stayed on his left foot.
Cool, calm, and collected.
Cool, calm, and collected. So, at halftime here at Coshocton in the Division II East District semifinal, New Philly leads 28-26 over the John Glenn Muskies. You're listening to and watching high school basketball on WILE and YRPtv.
I'm not buying till I check down for.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
Some things in life are just automatic. Like me, State Farm agent Alan Hunter, offering great neighbor service plus surprisingly great rates on auto insurance. If you were to contact us right now, you'd find you could have some of those surprisingly great rates and good neighbor service right away, as in automatically. Give me or my staff, Austin, Minley, Lori, or Kelly, a call today. 740-439-5385. We think you'll be automatically happy you did.
Surgeon Construction is leading the way in commercial and industrial construction. This is Jason Emsch, and we are committed to providing exceptional construction experience from pre-construction through project completion. Our success is measured by exceeding our clients' expectations. See our past and previous projects at Cambridge YMCA and New Educational Center at Jurassic Park and FMJ Shooting Range, just to name a few. Find us online at surgeon.construction and like us on Facebook.
Surgeon Construction. We'll take it from here.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? my eyes filled with tears. And on the radio, I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their Patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
Welcome back to Coshocton High School. I'm Mike Snively, joined by Mike Podlasiak. John Glenn trails the New Philly Quakers 28-26. And, this thing got started ugly, Plaz, right off the bat. John Glenn couldn't find, they couldn't find water if he fell out of a boat. They couldn't hit it, they couldn't hit anything. And New Philly comes out, knocks down 4 threes in that first quarter, and I think it could have got ugly quick, but kudos to John Glenn. They righted the ship, and they've got this thing down to 2 now.
Like, once they hit a couple shots, you could just see the confidence start to build in the little Muskies, and the more they played in the first half, the more confident they played with. I tell you what, they had the momentum on their side when the first half ended, outscoring New Philly 16-10 there in that second quarter.
And you made a couple of notes of it. They're out rebounding New Philly right now. So it's been a really good, I would say, 10 minutes of basketball for John Glenn. That opening 2-3 minutes was not good for the John Glenn Muskies. I'll hit some scoring statistics here first. Coach Zach Ross's team, New Philly, they were led tonight. They had 3 guys that had 6 points. Colton Slaughter had 6 points on 2 threes. Brant Wells had 6 points on 2 threes, and Carter Vandal had 6 points on 3 baskets. Michael Vickers had a 3-pointer. He had 5 points. Owen Scholes had a basket for 2, and Owen Miller had a basket for 2. Over to the Muskies, only 4 guys scored for the Muskies, but Nathan Walker, who nailed a big 3 as the half ended to cut this to 2, he had 2 threes, and he had 10 points, double digits already for Nathan Walker. Caden Walls, who also hit a 3, he has 7 points. Caleb Larrick had 6 points. He was just, 2 for 5 from the line, and the only player to go to the free throw line. He had 6 points. And Bexley Woodard, who only really got 1 good look, he had 3 points tonight, or in the first half. So 28-26, New Philly leading John Glenn. Plaz, what are your stats looking like over there?
I tell you what, both teams shot the ball really well. For John Glenn to stay in this thing, they got to continue that. They only got 17 shots off in the first half, but were able to make 10 out of 17, 59%.
Wow.
And they were 4 out of 9 from behind the three-point arc. Philly, on the other hand, got 24 shots off, made 11, 46%, very good. And but they were 6 out of 12, which is impressive, 50% from behind the arc. Rebounding-wise, give the little Muskies a lot of credit. Both teams with 4 offensive rebounds in the first half, but John Glenn out-rebounded them defensively 8-4. Turnover-wise, really the little Muskies cleaned things up there in the second quarter. Turned the ball over 3 times. Those were pretty much in the first 2 minutes of the game. When
yes.
It was obvious they were nervous to start this.
Yes.
But then only turned it over 1 time in the second quarter for a total of 4 for the first half. New Philly, I may have missed one or two somewhere, but I had him only for one turnover.
That's what I thought, and I think it was the one right down here on the baseline.
It was, and that's outstanding because John Glenn has put a lot of pressure on Philly, and they've done a pretty good job handling that full court pressure. And I think the big thing right now, Mike, is the fact that you mentioned the disparity in free throw shooting the first time these two teams played. Philly has yet to go to the free throw line.
And the disparity started, I guess, in the first game in the second half. So we've still got a second half to go. We're going to find out. I want to hit our sponsor list real quick. I want to thank all of our sponsors. Doan Ford, West 40 Auto Sales, Valentine Insurance, WB Green Insurance, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, The Battery Depot, Allen Hunter State Farm, Surgeon Construction, and Park National Bank. I also want to thank our director tonight, Brett Klein, our camera run by WTUZ and Claxton Productions, Casey up there, and Mike Mitchell. So we're going to take a little bit of a more break, and we'll be back with more second half action from Coshocton as New Philly leads John Glenn 28-26. You're listening to and watching high school basketball on WILE and YRPtv.
At Park National Bank, you'll find bankers who take the time to listen to you and make your financial goals their top priority. Want more out of your banking relationship? It's time to talk to Park National Bank. Call, visit, or go online to get the conversation started. Member FDIC.
I'm not buying till I check on Ford.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com.
Welcome back to Coshocton High School. Mike Snively joined by Mike Podlasiak. Getting ready to start the second half action here in the District 2 district semifinal in the East. Other games going on tonight. Tri-Valley and St. Clair's are playing at Muskingum University tonight. The winner of this game will play the winner of that game. Maysville and Indian Valley are at Cambridge tonight. And the winner of that game will play the winner of Carrollton, East Liverpool. Yeah,
yes,
East
Carrollton,
Liverpool.
East Liverpool beat Cambridge.
I didn't read it. I didn't even look on notes. That I remembered that, Plaz. I should get some credit for that.
You're the man.
I don't remember anything.
Wait till you get to be my age. You can't remember anything.
I was hoping, okay, what's who? And that game's being played at Edison High School.
Yes.
Yeah. That was kind of going to be my trivia question tonight. Can you name the 4 district sites tonight? And unless you're like working for the East District Board, nobody probably could. But
I had them written down, so you weren't going to fool me. Mike, I would always tell kids at the halftime, this is the most important 3 minutes of the basketball game, the first 3 minutes of the second half.
Right.
I think it's important for John Glenn to maintain that momentum that they had right at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, exactly. They do
if
not.
they want to stay in this game, they've got to play well here these first 3 minutes.
Totally agree. They do not need to lose what they built, that momentum they built. So New Philly has the ball. Vickers brings it across, guarded by Will Nikolazakis.
Both teams with the same starters they began the game with.
Vandal takes Walker to the hole. Walker gets a pretty good hack in. Who are they going to call this on? Almost a charge, but they're going to get Nathan Walker on the foul.
Just didn't quite have good enough position to get that charge called.
And they got Walker with the reach-in foul, and it was a pretty good hack. So speaking of the free throw line, here goes New Philly to the free throw line for its first 2 of the game. Carter Vandal misses his first free throw. He made 15 free throws in the first contest. Second free throw up. No good. Misses both of them. Rebound by Bexley Woodard, who hands it off to Nathan Walker. Over to Caden Walls. Walls on the right wing. Inside to Lyric. Lyric wearing number 0 takes Vandal to the hole. Goes up strong. And they're going to get Vandal.
So boy, good patience that time by Lyric.
Lyric pump faking. Using his body well. And that's going to be Vandal's second. Not a huge storyline yet. But Carter Vandal with 2 fouls. As this is going to send Lyric back to the line for 2. First shot up, no good. 2 of 6. Caleb Lyric from the line.
And as you've already mentioned, he's the only person from John Glenn to be to the free throw line so far this evening.
Larrick 60% on the year. Second shot up. Rolls around and good. So that cuts it to 1. 28-27. New Philly over John Glenn. More pressure from John Glenn. Almost a steal by Walls. Vickers over to Slaughter, back to Vickers. Vickers being guarded by Winland. Penetrate and pitch. Wells to Miller. Back to Slaughter. Nice job, man-to-man, keeping control of the ball and the dribbler. John Glenn, this possession. Just a minute going by here in the third quarter. 1 point lead for the Quakers. And Quakers showing a lot of patience. Vickers comes in, steps up, misses the lefty, but a great rebound by Carter Vandal. And he puts in his 8th point of the night. I'm sorry, that's his 6th point of the night. 6th point of the night. Plaz, you were right earlier. He only had 4 in that first half.
I don't hear that told to me very often, Mike, that I'm right.
Bexley Wooder goes strong to the hole, uses his left. No good. Rebound by Carter Vandal. Quakers lead by 3. They're on the run. Here goes Slaughter. Slaughter goes to the hole. Batted away and maybe knocked off
nice
Slaughter.
Play
it
by
was.
Larrick.
Larrick is having a great game. Larrick hustled his butt down there, deflected the pass, and the ball deflects off of Colton Slaughter, who goes out of bounds. Here come the Muskies. Down 3. And I think they just called Will Nikolazakis dribbled on the baseline. Hard to see from our vantage point. We're in the end zones. And literally, probably, I don't know, last 6-7 feet above the basket.
Yes.
And
like you said, it'd be a great place to watch a game from. For what we have to do, this is tough.
So possession by New Philly. Pressure, as usual here by the Muskies. Trapped by Winland and Nikolazakis. Steal by Walker. Walker goes to the hole. Up strong. Gets it and good. So Nathan Walker with his 12th point of the night. Down to a 1 point lead for the Quakers. 5:55 and counting here in the third quarter. Vickers goes to the hole. Kicks it to Vandal. And Vandal's going to be fouled on the ground.
Probably a good foul that time.
It was a good foul. Nice pass there by Vickers. And I'm trying to see who they got the foul on. They got Caden Walls, I believe. And that's going to be his second.
I think they could have called that against Walls or Walker, either one.
Yeah, there could have been, either one. So inbounds here. And a wide open slam dunk by Owen Scholes. Gets this crowd rocking here. 3 point lead. Walker goes right back at New Philly. He knocks it in, back to a 1 point lead.
Great answer there by Walker.
Great answer. Almost a travel there by Vickers. Over to Colton Slaughter. To Vandal. Back to Vickers. Vickers goes to his left, spins. Back to Scholes, and Scholes is going to get called for the offensive foul. Walker has stepped up the last couple possessions. This gets the John Glenn crowd involved. John Glenn with a chance to take the lead on their next possession. I'll say this, I didn't know that guy was going to throw down like he did on that dunk.
One step. That was impressive.
Yeah, I didn't see that
came out of nowhere.
But he is 6'7", so I shouldn't have been too surprised. So here come the Muskies.
With a chance to take the lead, their first lead of the night.
Nikolazakis over to we got all kind of action going on here. Nikolazakis back with the ball. Larry getting a little scrum there with a couple of New Philly players. There's some water on the floor.
I see there's a wet spot. You can see it from here.
Yeah, moisture on the floor, so anything around the top of the key is going to be slick. Walls goes up. No dice. And a rebound by Vandal. Vandal goes hard to the basket, being cut off by Walls. Back out to Vickers. Vickers going to slow things down. Quakers lead by 1 here, 4:30 left in the third quarter. Over to Brant Wells, inside to Vandal. Vandal goes up strong, and he's got an easy basket. So Carter Vandal gives the Quakers a 3-point lead here at Coshocton. Three-pointer would tie it here for John Glenn. Walls is going to try to tie it, and he does. Caden Walls knocks down his second trifecta of the night Tie ball game here in Coshocton. Continued pressure here by the Muskies. Larrick goes out on Vandal. Vandal kicks it out to Wells. Wells shoots a 15-footer. He knocks it down. And all of a sudden, we got a shootout here in Coshocton. 36-34. New Philly leads John Glenn. Walker running the point now, being guarded by Slaughter. Backdoor cut. And that's going to be a tough, bad luck turnover by Caleb Larrick, who was hit on the backdoor cut, but lost control.
Just really never came down with it.
And the ball hit the back underneath the backboard and bounced off of his shoulder. So it's going to be Philly basketball. They lead by 2.
Which, again, is what the lead was at halftime.
Highly contested game here tonight. A lot of good competition here. A lot of competitiveness. Walls kicks it over to Slaughter. Kick ball there by Winland. So far in this second half, they've done a pretty good job on Slaughter, not letting him get his feet set for the 3.
Boy, Slaughter looked like he takes one more dribble. I think he's got a layup.
You're
right there.
probably right. So checking in for the Muskies is number 1, Lane Hall. He's going to check in for Caleb Larrick. This is going to be a 5-guard system now for the John Glenn Muskies.
Yeah, 5'7" replaces 6'6".
That's almost a foot advantage there, Plaz. So Vandal takes the baseline jumper, no good, rebounded by Winland, who hands it to Woodard. Woodard gets it across, puts a fist in the air, calls a play. Over to Steele Bates, the freshman now checked in here in the second half. Bates over to Woodard. Over to Lane Hall. Hall to Walker. Muskies trail by 2. Into Woodard. Woodard tries to take up, left-hand shot, no good. Rebound by Vickers. Vickers double teamed by Bates and Winland. He gets out of it. Over to Slaughter. Slaughter kicks it out, and they're going to call a blocking foul. Maybe on Woodard, maybe on Winland. Let's see how they go here. And I think they got it on Winland.
Well, if he slides over just a little bit more, he was in a good position to take a charge right there.
So out underneath for New Philly to Vandal. Vandal's going to pull up. He's stripped by Steele Bates. Bates comes up with the ball. Dribbles down the right side of the floor. Nice strip steal there by Steele Bates. Bates kicks it out to Winland for 3. Bang! Noah Winland with his first 3 on the game, and that gives the Muskies their first lead of the night. The John Glenn crowd comes to their feet, and they're going to get a foul on, let's see, they get it on.
I think that's on Winland also.
Yes, I think it was on Winland as well. But the John Glenn bench has erupted.
Oh my God, that energy, I tell you what, that press, I don't know that New Philly would have been able to get it past half.
I don't think so.
10-second count.
They called that on Lane Hall, Class. So Lane, that's going to be his first foul on the night. 2:15 in the third quarter. Muskies lead by 1 over the Quakers. Vickers gets it across to Vandal. Vandal being guarded by the freshman, Steele Bates. Bates Bates is doing a heck of a job, which causes Vandal to lose a little bit of composure, runs over Lane Hall. They're going to call an offensive foul on Vandal. So that would be Vandal's 3rd, I believe. Let's see if that was on.
Yes, that is
Vandal's
3 against Vandal.
So Nathan Walker checks back in, got a quick blow. Now that's a developing storyline. Vandal gets 3 fouls.
And as easily as New Philly handled that pressure in the first half, they turned the ball over now 4 times here in the third quarter.
So Steele Bates, another spark plug effort here in defensively this time. Over to Lane Hall. Muskies lead by 1, looking to increase their lead. Into Bexley Woodard. Woodard goes with the up and under with the left hand, no good. Rebound by Walls. Walls may have been fouled, brings it out. May have been a couple different fouls there, Plaz. Over to Walls. It's getting physical here. Lane Hall dribbles to his left. Kicks it out to Walls. Walls at the top of the key. Heavily guarded there by Miller. 5-out situation here. 5 offensive players all outside the paint for the Muskies. Backdoor cut. No good. Out to Lane Hall. Back to Woodard.
Good patience shown here by the Little Muskies.
Walls is going to take the 3. He knocks it down. Caden Walls knocks down his 3. And the Muskies lead by 4. 40-36 John Glenn. More pressure being applied. Vandal goes to the hole, and he's going to get an and 1. Yeah, I thought Larrick grabbed his arm. So Carter Vandal goes to the right side, gets past Caleb Larrick, who grabs his arm as he was shooting.
Good step through that time by Vandal. I tell you, he really didn't get his shoulder squared. That was a lot tougher shot than what he made it look.
I'll tell you what, right now, John Glenn shooting it well. Obviously got him all the way back and now has the 2-point lead. Vandal trying to make it a 1-point lead. He's got one shot up and good.
First free throw made tonight by the Quakers.
First free throw made by the Quakers.
And Coach Ross is going to take Vandal out and give him a little bit of blow here the last 54 seconds. Doesn't want him to pick up number 4 before the start of the fourth quarter.
Exactly right. Good analysis there, Plaz. 40-39, John Glenn leads. John Glenn also has the possession arrow. In the Larrick, they're trying to gain control of the basketball. Back out to Bexley Woodard. Woodard finds Walker. Walker being guarded by Slaughter. 33 seconds left. 5-second count is on. And they may try to go for one, Plaz, if they can hold it that long.
It looked like Walker maybe had a layup that time if he wanted to pursue it.
It could be a 2-for-1 situation.
Yes.
2 for. Walls being heavily guarded by Owen Miller. Walls decides he's going in with 13 seconds. He's going to be fouled and almost gets the basket. So they're going to get number 25, Owen Miller, the 6'2 junior, with a foul. That's New Philly's 4th team foul. Owen Miller's first. It's going to send Caden Walls to the line. He's a 62% shooter. Walls with 13 on the night. First shot is up and good. Checking in is Lane Hall, Noah Winland, and Steele Bates will be for the shooter. 2-point lead for the Muskies. 10.3 left here in the third quarter. Walls trying to make us a 3-point lead. Second shot up and good. Steele Bates checks in for Caden Walls, 10.3. 42-39, John Glenn leads New Philly.
Mike, I think that the added depth that John Glenn has, I think, is starting to pay off.
It's starting to wear it down a little bit. Vickers gets it across, but he's going to be double-teamed right away. Steele, here comes Lane Hall, hands it off to Steele Bates. Steele Bates, reach for the buzzer, good! Steele Bates goes in with the turnover, gives John Glenn their biggest lead before at the end of the third quarter. So at the end of the third quarter, John Glenn leads New Philly 44-39. You're listening to and watching high school basketball on WILE and YRPtv.
Do you really think that an insurance company who promises quotes in a few minutes has your best interest in mind? Do they really know you and what coverages you need? Hi, this is John Valentine with Valentine Insurance. We take time to learn about you and your insurance needs so you can feel comfortable that you're receiving the right coverages at the best possible prices. Find us on Facebook, stop by our office, or give us a call at 994-1776. Valentine Insurance, a partner you can depend on.
Welcome back to Coshocton High School. Mike Snively with Mike Podlasiak. The tide has turned here tonight in this Division II East District semifinal as the John Glenn Muskies enter the fourth quarter with a 44-39 lead over the New Philly Quakers, and you can just feel the energy in here right now, Platt.
I tell you, all momentum right now on the side of the little Muskies, and what a turnaround during the third quarter. The Quakers only had one turnover the whole first half, 5 there in the third quarter, and I think a lot of that just the energy that John Glenn has right now is just fantastic.
No bigger turnover than right before half as Steele Bates lays it in. John Glenn now gets the possession, so even more momentum for the Muskies.
Last 2 quarters, the little Muskies outscored the Quakers 34-21.
After a bad start, the Muskies have controlled this game. Woodard over to Nikolazakis. Nikolazakis out to Woodard. Now you want to see if they're going to continue to attack offensively here. Steele Bates being guarded by Miller. Bates, the freshman, gets inside, brings it back out, hands it to Nikolazakis. Nikolazakis back out to Walls. Walls, who's having a heck of a game tonight.
Boy, he has.
14 points tonight. A lot of patience. So far they've got rid of 50 seconds off the clock in this possession. John Glenn leads by 5. Walker being guarded by Slaughter. Tries a backdoor cut and it's going to go out of bounds. Walker tried to hit Woodard on a backdoor cut, overthrew him, so it'll be New Philly ball. 58 seconds on that possession. One possession, class.
Been nice if they could have converted oh my.
And I didn't know Nicholas
got with a foul there.
Yeah, Nikolazakis reaching, trying to calculate that, trying to strip the ball handler. And
just a little bit early.
A little bit early. I think it surprised the official. He didn't even call the foul. So Vickers, the southpaw, and they're going to get Steele Bates this time. Steele Bates kind of ran over Colton Slaughter.
Smart move that time by Slaughter, though. He created
He
that
did.
himself.
He created a little bit. Went to the floor.
Smart player. He's coach's son. He's been around the game a little bit.
He has. So Caleb Larrick's going to check in for Steele Bates. It's going to give the Muskies their post presence back. Side out inbound here. Slaughter's going to inbound it for the Quakers.
Really, the only person in any kind of foul trouble is Vandal.
Vandal
with
has
3 for the Quakers.
Vickers takes it up. It's blocked by Bexley Woodard. Handled by Walker. Walker shakes and bakes. Dribbles here, dribbles there. Hands off to Nikolazakis. Now New Philly starting to up their pressure on the Muskies. Nikolazakis goes all the way around the court. He hands it to Walls. Walls is being guarded by Vickers. 6:06 left here.
They've taken 2 minutes off the clock here in this third quarter.
And now they're going to get, I think, Vickers with a little nickel dimer.
There'll be 5 team fouls against the Quakers here in the second half.
So 5 team fouls, 6 on the Muskies. So the next time the Muskies foul, New Philly will be in a one-on-one situation. 44-39, John Glenn leads by 5, 6:01 left in the fourth quarter. Inbounds to Larrick. Big man against big man here. Larrick goes up with his left hand.
Nice.
Bingo. Caleb Larrick. Another big basket.
What improvement that young man's made here in the last 3 weeks.
Huge improvement. 7-point lead, and my lead's out of my pencil up to, there we go. Another miss by New Philly, and I got another pencil. Thank goodness. We're going to keep writing, class. 7-point lead.
I can throw you one.
I got one here. 46-39. John Glenn leads. 5:28 here in the fourth quarter. Winner goes on to the district final. Loser goes home. Walls out front, kicks it over to Larrick. Larrick being double teamed over to Walls. Out to Woodard. 5:10 left here. And almost a steal there by Brant Wells. 5:05 left. Almost.
And the other thing Little Muskies are doing right now, they are wearing New Philly out because these are long offensive possessions. They're making the Quakers defend for a long period of time.
And then they're scoring, and that basket,
on top
that's
of
huge.
Yes.
That's huge. That's like a 4-point play sometimes. So under 5 here. Walker guarded by Slaughter. Tipped out of bounds by Slaughter. You can feel a little anxiousness with New Philly right now.
Exactly, because they came in here as the number 2 seed.
Number 2 seed. I believe they went out in this round last year to Meadowbrook.
I think you're right.
Up at Indian Valley. So Nikolazakis runs backcourt into Walker. Crowd wanted the foul on Slaughter, and they're going to get one this time. Now it looks like John Glenn's having fun. They feeling like they're playing with a lot of confidence.
They are.
Crowd's into it, bench is into it. So both teams now with 16 fouls. Both teams will be in the 1-on-1 next foul. Box set on the inbounds. And Coach Scheck wants a timeout. He's going to take a time. And they hit a 3-pointer right before the time, or right after the timeout. So
he changed his mind. Maybe he doesn't want a timeout.
He doesn't want a timeout. So it's going to be a 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it here. 46-39, John Glenn over New Philly. From the start of this game, Plaz, till now, it's been a 180.
It most certainly has. I tell you, a lot of credit to the Little Muskies players and staff. I tell you what, they've made some nice adjustments, and we've seen him several times this year. This, by far, is the best basketball I've seen him play.
I agree. This is the best I've seen him play
all year. And this is what it was going to take. If you're going to be the number 2 seed, you've got to play your best basketball.
Talking to Coach Sheck in the preseason, I think this is what he expected to see all year. He saw this in the preseason in a couple of scrimmages and everything, and it just never came to fruition because there was a roller coaster, a lot of ups and downs with the 500 season. But now, 13-11, here trying to advance to the district finals. It's a new season. Larrick gets the ball on the left, goes up strong. Another basket for Caleb Larrick. Caleb Larrick continues to improve. 9-point lead by the Muskies. Vandal may have gotten away with the offensive foul. He gets it across the court, and they're going to call the reach-in foul, I believe, on Nathan Walker. Let's see. Yeah, they got Nathan Walker, and that's going to be his second tonight. Checking in now will be Owen Scholes, the 6'7 junior. Got a big slam dunk earlier in this half.
Like the Little Muskies with 4 guys with 2 fouls, but really nobody in foul trouble for the Little Muskies.
Nobody in foul trouble, no. So 1-1, this is going to send Vandal to the line. 1-1, shot up, no good. Rebound by Woodard. So 4:30 left, Muskies lead by 9. Walls dribbles down the right side, looking for Larrick. Inside to Larrick. Larrick's going to go to work on Scholes. He's double teamed. Kicks it out to Walls. Walls from 16 feet. No. Who they going to call this off of? And they called it off of John Glenn. It's in the area where I can't see, but the official says it's going to be.
From where it was, I think that's a good call.
Yeah,
it was off Walker, I believe.
So 9-point lead, 4:12 left to play. Lane Hall checks in. Steele Bates checks in for John Glenn.
Mike, you hit the nail on the head. The Little Muskies are having fun right now.
They are having a blast.
You can just see on their face, they're playing hard and loving it.
Crowd's behind. The crowd's competing tonight. They're getting into it. Inbounds to Carter Vandal. Over to Miller. Miller to Wells. Back to Miller. Back to Vandal. Vandal being guarded by Walker. And Coach Zach Ross wants to take a timeout. And he's going to keep it at as a 30, and we'll keep it here with 3:59 here left in the fourth quarter at Coshocton. John Glenn leads 48-39. And, Plaz, a lot can happen. It's been a tale of 2 games so far, but you got to think John Glenn's got to keep pounding it down the Larrick.
Keep doing what you're doing. There's no need to kind of go in any kind of delay or anything now. Keep doing what you're doing. The thing with New Philly, they have yet to score here in the fourth quarter, and we are halfway through it.
Yeah, they have a great point. They missed their 1 free throw attempt. Right now, John Glenn has 17 fouls. John Glenn has 2 timeouts left. New Philly has 3 timeouts left. John Glenn has 3 guys in double digits. Larrick has 11. Walls has 15. And Walker has 14.
Mike, and again, Vandal was the OCC Player of the Year. The Little Muskies have held him to 11 points.
Yeah, good point. Vandal over to Wells. Wells to Vickers. Vickers, the point guard, being guarded by the freshman, Steele Bates. And he throws it away. Vickers throws it away, and it was not tipped. From my angle, it was not tipped.
It was not.
And the officials agreed with me. So it's going to be side out for the Muskies, who line up 4 across. Unique set here, Plaz.
The Quakers a little bit in panic mode right now.
They inbound it to Steele Bates. Bates over to Walls. Things are getting a little tighter here with 3:35 to go. 9-point lead for the Muskies. Trapping situation here for New Philly. Walls handles it near the midcourt line, and Coach Sheck's seen enough. He said, darn it, I need a timeout. And he gets that timeout. It's going to be a full timeout, and we're going to take it with him. So with 3:26 left in the ball game here at Coshocton. John Glenn leads New Philly 48-39. You are listening to and watching high school basketball on WILE and YRPtv.
When they say no job is too big or too small, well, they mean it. At the Battery Depot, they won't shy away from any job, ranging from golf cart customization and repair, trailer wiring, fleet vehicle customization, including power inverters and custom generator racks. They stock batteries for everything, ranging from dozers and semis to watches and key fobs. They're conveniently located on Campbell Avenue in Cambridge, or give them a call at 740-432-2000. The Battery Depot.
Back to Coshocton High School. Mike Snively with Mike Podlasiak. East District Division II semifinal game. John Glenn leads New Philly 48-39. John Glenn possesses the basketball at half court. John Glenn, after a very rocky start, worked its way back and now has gained confidence and momentum and leads by 9. Inbound to Caden Walls, being guarded by Vickers. Vickers loses control, ball's on the floor, and the possession arrow goes to New Philadelphia. So Caden Walls just lost possession of the basketball.
Slipped a little bit.
It did slip a little bit. Sure, there's some sweat and some moisture on the basketball with all the sweat. Coach Sheck says, be strong with it, be strong with it. Braden Davis, substitute for John Glenn, comes out and cleans up the floor.
Son of Brent Davis, who was an ex-player of mine down at Caldwell back in the day.
That is right.
The dog,
and nothing less expected than this from Braden Davis.
I'm telling you what a great young man.
He is.
Fine young man.
And he gets a nice hand from the John Glenn crowd. So, out of bounds. Quakers have to take it full court. Still a full court press here by the Muskies. Inbounds to Vandal, over to Vickers. Vickers being guarded by Lane Hall, the junior. Hands it off to Colton Slaughter. Out to Miller. Colton Slaughter being guarded by Steele Bates. Out to Vandal. Over to Vickers. The lefty goes to his right. Kicks it out. Has a wide open look for Brant Wells. And he knocks down the triple. And New Philly, Coach Ross wants to take a timeout. And it's a 30-second timeout. That's a big shot there by Brant Wells. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was Brant Wells, number 15. I wrote it down under Carter Vandal. So 48-42. John Glenn leads the Quakers by 6, 48-42. One timeout left for the Quakers, 2 timeouts left for John Glenn. So, Plaz, what do you think Coach Ross is calling time? What's he discussing right now?
I think he just really wants time to set that defense up because they're going to have to go full court pressure. Also, probably in a situation, I don't know how much longer you're going to go before you actually start to foul.
Right.
Trying to send it. And for the little Muskies to win this basketball game, they're going to have to handle pressure and they're going to have to make free throws.
Do you keep attacking offensively?
I think you do.
I do too.
I think you have to. How many times have we watched teams go out and try to hold the basketball?
Exactly.
And all they do is stall it and create turnovers.
Because you're at that point of the game right now where you're starting to tighten up a lot more. And you're like, do I want to take that shot here? But
play with some freedom. You're the underdog.
Yeah, play with freedom. Got nothing to lose here. You're the number 7 seed against the number 2 seed. So New Philly's going to come out and press. Handled by Woodard. Going to have to get close to, got to get to the cross. They just beat it.
Close.
And they're going to get a foul on Michael Vickers. So that's going to send Caden Walls to the line for 1-and-1.
That'll be 3 against Vickers. Again, nobody really in foul trouble on either team.
Walls 2 for 2 on the night.
He's had a great evening here.
He has. He has 15 on the night. He's leading all scorers. Walls is shooting 62% on the year. First shot is up. Hits the front of the rim and goes in. So 7-point lead here for the Muskies. This is going to be the longest 2:41 of the season, folks. Wall's second shot. He's 3 for 3 on the night. Make it 4 for 4. 50-42. Big trap here. And almost a steal by John Glenn. Lane Hall over to Miller, to Wells,
Boy, good recovery defensively.
Very great
Muskies.
recovery, showing good speed. Vickers goes up against Bates. Wells gets a good 3 look. No good, just out. Rebound, hustling by Walker. Ball's all over the court, and they're going to get, I believe, Steele Bates with the foul. I tell you, Blaz, that was what an effort by both teams. Oh, both teams just going at it right there. And I think Brant Wells, who got collided with, and nothing intentional, comes up gimpy, just a little gimpy, but he's got to shoot free throws.
There's a lot of contact there, Mike, but how do you call foul either way? They let him play to that point.
And everybody was about step for step getting to the basketball.
Yes.
So Wells goes to the line. His first attempt from the line tonight. 1-1. Shot up. Gets the roll. 50-43. 2:16 left to play. John Glenn leads New Philly. Wells, the 5'10 senior, lines it, eyes it up. No good. But a rebound by Vickers. Vickers goes up, misses the putback, and a great rebound by Nathan Walker, who's double teamed. Over to Steele Bates. Steele Bates, the freshman. He's double teamed. He gets it over to Lyric. Lyric to Walls, and he loses it out of bounds. And we got a wild scrum going on. Vickers down 7. Gets the ball over to Vandal. Vandal shoots a 3, no good. Rebound by Walker, and they're going to get Owen Miller with a foul. So much for slowing the game down, Blaz.
My goodness.
What the heck is going on here? This looks like lunchtime ball. This is the district semifinal. So anyway, let me pause for a little bit and tell you what's going on here.
I got to get another pen. I've run out of ink.
Walker's going to go line shoot 1-on-1. He's a 74% shooter. His first shot is up, and he gets the roll. That thing looked like it was heading out for sure, Plaz. It might be that night.
It was almost going to lay right on the front of the rim and not go anywhere.
It might be that type of night for the Muskies. 51-43. Walker, who averages almost 17 a game, lines up the second one. Good. 1:45 left, 9-point lead, 3-possession game here. Muskies lead. Muskies still trapping. Now a steal to Walker, who lays in the layup. Nathan Walker comes out of nowhere with a steal, 11-point lead. Vandal down to Miller. Miller shoots a 3, and he nails it. Miller's second 3 on the night knocks it down to an 8-point lead. And we got a hold. Let's see who they get the hold on, Plaz.
I think that may go against Vickers.
It is, and that's his 4th. So Vickers, wearing number 4, has 4 fouls. That's going to send Caden Walls to the line. 9th team foul. So after this, John Glenn will be shooting 2.
And I tell you what, they've had the guys at the free throw line you want. They've had Walls.
They definitely have, Plaz.
And Walker here in the 4th quarter.
So Walls lines up his 5th attempt on the night. Good.
What a game this young man's played here this season.
Great game. 9-point lead. 55-46. Walls, the senior, has really stepped his game up tonight. Second shot by Walls. Short. Rebound by Vickers. 9-point lead, 1:19 left. Double bonus situation now for John Glenn the whole way out. Number 50, that's a short, hit the side of the back where it may have been tipped. They kick it to Vickers. Slaughter loses control, kicks it to Vickers. The lefty shoots a 3, no good. Rebound by Nathan Walker. And Walker's going to have to be fouled by Owen Miller. And I tell you what, John Glenn's starting to smell this thing.
Yes, they are.
They're starting to smell it. 1 minute exactly left. John Glenn 55, New Philly 46. Nathan Walker's going to take it to the line. He's going to shoot 2 shots. Walker with 18 on the night. 19.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net. Lane Hall's going to check in defensively for Caleb Lyric. A couple Muskie faithful coming to their feet behind the bench. Walker's second shot up. good. This game's up to 11 now, 57-46. Here comes New Philly. New Philly over to Slaughter. Slaughter takes a 30-footer, no good. Rebound by Woodard, and all the Muskies got to do now is just hold on. And that's going to foul Vickers out. I believe that's Vickers' 5th foul. And Michael Vickers is going to end his night with 5 points. I'm sorry, 7 points.
And back at the free throw line, Mr. Walker.
Mr. Walker going back to the line where he is 4 for 4 on the night, 2 shots. 57-46. John Glenn leads. First shot up, good. 5 of 5. 12-point lead. Biggest lead of the night for John Glenn.
Who'd have thought this back 5 minutes into this game?
Wow, Plaz. Walker's second shot up, good. 13-point lead. 49 seconds and ticking here. Pressure and a steal by Walker. He gets fouled, this time by Carter Vandal. And the John Glenn crowd is going wild.
It would take a major collapse.
You called it, Plaz. You said they got a lot more depth, and you're seeing it right now.
They have worn out the New Philly Quakers tonight.
This is the best I've seen John Glenn play all year. Walker shot up, good.
Mike, that free throw situation for the first time these two teams went completely reversed.
Completely reversed. You're exactly right. Great point. 14-point lead. Walker's 8th attempt on the night. No good. Almost a rebound by Bates. Walker goes and gets it. Throws it out. Oh,
that was a foul.
That was a foul. But missed by Brant Wells. Great defense by Caden Walls. And this is going to do it, folks. Essentially, all John Glenn has to do is dribble this thing out. But Owen Scholes is going to foul Walker.
A lot of smiles on the faces of the little Muskies, and there should be there. What an effort.
What a great, great effort. Well, we're going to be somewhere, Plaz, I would assume, Saturday night. The winner of Tri-Valley and St. Clairsville. One would think if the game is Tri-Valley, it's got to be at Zanesville.
You would think so,
You would think. And at St. Clairsville, you would think
maybe Meadowbrook?
Meadowbrook, the Union Local, something like that, yeah. So, Walker to the line. He's got 23 on the night.
His uniform number.
Yeah, his uniform, exactly. Shot up and good. He's been excellent tonight. And that may have been his 1,000th point. I don't know. The way the crowd reacted
I would say you're probably right.
The way the crowd reacted, that may have been 1,000. Walker's second shot, that might be 1,001. And he's getting a lot of congratulatory hugs and kisses and high fives from his teammates. And they get him out of the game. A huge hug from Coach Eric Scheck. I'm just assuming that was 1,000. A lot of hugs from Coach Laney, Coach Folks, Coach Aricchio. Here comes New Philly, 25 and ticking, down 16. And Vandal just takes it to the hole. He's going to have an easy 2. Gets it across to Lane Hall. 14-point lead. New Philly's still going to foul. It's going to take Lane Hall to the line. Lane Hall, a 5'7" junior, just a 30% free throw shooter, but he doesn't have a whole lot of attempts.
And Coach Scheck is going to empty the bench.
And he's going to bring them all out. So a huge ovation for this Muskie team who will be playing Saturday night.
Mike, that's 16 out of 19 from the free throw line here in the second half
16 out of 19. Lane Hall's second shot up and good.
17 out of 20, second half alone.
So in the game right now will be Braden Davis, Justin Stambush, Nelson Cameron,
and Vandal is just going to drill it out.
And where's my C.J. Dolan. That's going to wrap things up here from Coshocton.
Huge win tonight for the Little Muskies.
Huge win. So, final from Coshocton. John Glenn, 64. New Philadelphia, 48. John Glenn advances to the district final Saturday night at 7 p.m. with a site to be determined later. We will probably hear later tonight.
Yes.
Especially after we hear who wins the St. Clairsville Tri-Valley game. So, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to wrap it up and go over some statistics. So, you are listening to and watching high school basketball on WILE and YRPtv.
I was sitting in my car, and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood, and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio, I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door, and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of the guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
Surgeon Construction is leading the way in commercial and industrial construction. This is Jason Emsch, and we are committed to providing exceptional construction experience from pre-construction through project completion. Our success is measured by exceeding our clients' expectations. See our past and previous projects at Cambridge YMCA and New Educational Center at Jurassic Park and FMJ Shooting Range, just to name a few. Find us online at surgeon.construction and like us on Facebook.
Surgeon Construction. We'll take it from here.
Are you paying too much for homeowners insurance? Has your insurance company raised your deductible? Hi, this is John Valentine with Valentine Insurance. Many people can't accurately answer these questions. With many premiums escrowed into mortgages, homeowners don't pay attention to changes to their policies anymore. It's time you visit Valentine Insurance for a true, no-obligation review of your insurance policy. Call 994-1776 or stop by our office at 739 Southgate Parkway in Cambridge.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio. Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes. I get real cash back just for buying the gas I was going to buy anyway.
But is it a hassle to use?
No. It's super fast and easy, and I can cash out whenever I want.
That's a total no-brainer. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code HEAT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code HEAT. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HEAT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HEAT.
Welcome back here to Coshocton High School. I'm Mike Snively, joined by Mike Podlasiak, where tonight in the East District Division II semifinal game, the Muskies of John Glenn, the 7th seed, upset the number 2 seeded New Philadelphia Quakers by a score of 64-48 in a game that did a total 180 from the beginning of the game, Plaz. It just did not look, it looked gloom and doom from the get-go for John Glenn, but John Glenn showed some intestinal fortitude and I mean probably put on their best performance in a couple years.
Oh,
yeah,
exactly.
In a couple years.
I tell you what, they were led by the senior duo of Caden Walls and Nathan Walker, who really stepped it up. And I tell you, the other one was Caleb Blair.
Yes.
Just so solid. You know, they came in, they had a definite size disadvantage, but they out-rebounded New Philly 23-16. I mean, they control from middle of the first quarter on.
Yeah.
It was all John Glenn.
You said 23-16. In the previous matchup back in January, New Philly out-rebounded them 31-13. Huge. No, we were on camera, Plaz.
Well.
So a huge, big stat and a huge advantage there. So I'm going to go over some scoring here real quick with you. Zach Ross's New Philly Quakers, who lose tonight, they will drop to 18-6. He had a fine year this year. They were led by a couple really good players tonight. Carter Vandal, he had 14 points. And these stats are very unofficial. Plaz is really good. He's going to be right on the money. I know I've got a couple things off a little bit. I've had my papers blowing off onto the court tonight, so I've got a couple things unofficial. But Carter Vandal, the 6'5 senior, he had 14 points tonight. Brant Wells, he had 12 points tonight. Colton Slaughter was 6. Michael Vickers with 5. Owen Scholes with 4. And Owen Miller with 6. So total of 48, hopefully. Coach Eric Scheck's John Glenn Muskies moved to 14-11 on the season. And they were led tonight by Nathan Walker. Nathan, I apologize. It sounded like you got your 1,000th point tonight by the reaction on one of those free throws. Congratulations if that is indeed true. But I had him with 25 tonight. Caleb Larrick had a big night with 11 points. Lane Hall had 2 free throws for 2 points. Caden Walls, as mentioned earlier, Plaz mentioned earlier, 19 points. Noah Windland with 3 points. Bexley Woodard with 3 points. And Steele Bates had 2 points. So that totals up to 64. So go ahead, Plaz. You hit me with some stats.
I tell you, shooting the basketball, I don't know if John Glenn has had a night like they had tonight. Overall, the Little Muskies were 19 out of 32 from the field, 59%. And Mike, from the three-point arc, and we said going in that was going to be a key for this game because they were going to have to. They were 7 of 12, 58%, 3 of 3 in the second half. New Philly on the other side, 19 of 45, 42% from the game, 8 out of 22 from behind the arc, only 2 out of 10 in the second half. After starting out extremely hot from behind the arc.
You said 8. They made 4 in the first quarter.
4 in the first quarter.
Yeah, and 1 was late where it really didn't matter.
Right, and only 2 in the second half, so that big swing. Turnover-wise, the Little Muskies turned it over 4 times in the first half, only 8 for the game. They turned the tide, though. New Philly turned the ball over 8 times in the second half, 9 for the game. Like we said, the big difference in the first time these two teams played was the free throw disparity with New Philly holding advantage. Tonight, the Little Muskies, 19 out of 25.
Wow.
76%. New Philly only went to the free throw line 6 times.
The script
2 out of 6.
The script completely flipped from the first game they played.
Mike, the last 3 quarters of the game, John Glenn outscored New Philadelphia 54-30.
Wow.
Total domination by the Little
domination. I tell you, and like I said, I think that's the best I've seen John Glenn play in a couple of years.
I don't know how they could play any better, Mike, honestly.
They played hard, they played with passion, and it looked like they were having fun. I mean, they were having a blast out there.
And with their depth, they wore out New Philly.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So I tell you what, let's look real quickly here. So we do know that John Glenn's going to play somewhere, and it's either going to be Tri-Valley or St. Clairsville. I'm sure that's final by now. We didn't get a final score. But one would think if that's Tri-Valley, that game's probably going to be at Zanesville. I don't think they would move it to Muskingum, but we would think that the Tri-Valley game with John Glenn will be at Muskingum. They played Tri-Valley twice this year, lost to Tri-Valley twice this year. A St. Clairsville win, and it would be at a Union Local or a Meadowbrook, we would assume. On the other side of the bracket, Maysville's playing Indian Valley tonight, and Carrollton's playing East Liverpool. So we're down to 32 teams now, Plaz. The district semifinal means there's 64 teams. When you get to the district final, there's 32, and we're going to get knocked down to 16 after Saturday night.
Mike, I've got a score. In the third quarter, it was Tri-Valley 49, St. Clairsville 30.
Okay, so they were up.
So Brett,
Tri-Valley's the winner. Okay, thanks,
Tri-Valley
Brett.
is the winner. So it'll be an MVL final.
MVL final, and like I said, I would assume this game's going to be at Zanesville, but we don't know anything yet. Nothing is set in stone yet. And the other thing you got to think of, too, with Zanesville, they're hosting a regional girls final Friday night.
Yes.
And then can they come back and host? I'm sure they can. I mean, it's probably.
They've got a good staff over there. They're
do.
used to hosting a lot of, Eastern District games.
And they probably can. So, Plaz, any other final thoughts?
I tell you what, if you're a Little Muskie fan, you got to be ecstatic right now. I mean, what an effort by the Little Muskies here tonight. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I was excited. I was very excited.
It really was,
yes.
So we're looking forward. Hopefully you and I will get a chance maybe to do that game on Saturday. The difference of first game and this one tonight, even though Tri-Valley's won the first couple against, John Glenn.
Plaz, looking down here on the floor, nothing brings a community together like a tournament run.
Exactly.
I'll never, nothing, look at this. I mean, everybody's out here hugging and pictures and just all smiles. And
there will be more fans on Saturday night because as you move down the tournament trail, the longer you go, the more fans show up, yes. So looking for a large crowd tonight or on Saturday night.
Well, and one other thing, too, I want to thank our sponsors. I want to go over our sponsor list one more time. I put everything away just too quick. I want to thank our sponsors, Doane Ford, Valentine Insurance, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, Allen Hunter State Farm, Park National Bank, West 40 Auto Sales, WB Green Insurance, the Battery Depot, and Surgeon Construction. I also want to thank our director, Brett Klein, our camera, WTUZ and Claxton Productions, Casey and Mike Mitchell standing right behind me right now. So always a job well done with that crew. And I think we're just going to wrap it up right here. We will find out more about Saturday night's games and what the future plans are, the location of the Tri-Valley and John Glenn
Mike,
game.
the Eastern District has been real good so far about getting that information out.
The night of.
So I would think within the hour we probably will know where that game will be played.
I would say people's already been contacted. Hey, if this
there
happens,
very well could be. Yes, they've got a plan in place.
They've got a plan in place. Then you're right. They've been absolutely great. So once again, I'm Mike Snively for Mike Podlasiak. Final score, as you can maybe see in the background there, John Glenn, the 7th seed in the East District, upsets and defeats the number 2 seed New Philly Quakers 64-48. You have been listening to and watching high school basketball on WILE and YRPtv. Good night, everybody.
This has been a presentation of AVC Sports.